United Nations envoy has finally met with Burma's military leader, and the meeting comes as new questions arise about just how brutal and deadly the crackdown on pro-democracy protests has been in the country. The CBC's Michel Cormier is following events from neighboring Thailand this morning.
Well, finally, the special envoy from the UN, Ibrahim Gambari, met with General Tao Shui, who is a very reclusive leader. Most people in Burma have never even seen him on TV. He has other generals do his speeches and interventions for him. We know precious little of what has been talked about at the meeting. The envoy was supposed to impress on the general the international condemnation of the brutal repression that has been going on with protesters. So for now, we don't know much until, I guess, Mr. Gambari comes out of the country. We won't be able to actually know what he has been talking about. People were hoping, especially the opposition figures, that he could start some kind of dialogue between the opposition and the military leadership, but we don't know if that has happened at all.
The visit and the meeting, Michel, comes as we start to hear some disturbing new estimates about just how many people died in last week's violence. What's the latest you can tell us about that?
Well, there are reports in the British newspapers that maybe thousands have died, quoting some anonymous source that would have fled the regime and is now in exile. No confirmation of that. The Democratic Voice of Burma, which is the main opposition kind of group that is based out of Norway, says 138 dead, which is even, about 10 times more than what the regime has admitted to, including 1,600 arrested, and that would be 1,400 monks. But we just don't know. We saw the first monks coming out of the border yesterday at the town where we were at the border crossing, who managed to make it out of Myanmar, but they were not very willing to talk because they were afraid of putting their other monks in jeopardy. So it's very hard now. The whole communication has been broken now with Myanmar, with internet connections and cell phone connections. So it's very, very difficult to confirm any information.
The CBC's Michel Cormier from Bangkok this morning.